Hello, I want to talk about how we can understand ourselves and understand others far, far better. It's great to be able to look at people in a different light, in a better light, in a more understanding light. So let's think about the brain and how much influence it actually has on us so that we can make better allowances for people, understand them better. Often we can even surprise ourselves and say, why did I do that? That kind of surprise is really saying, I don't understand myself well. I don't understand how and why I'm making decisions the way I am. And of course, it's the brain that makes decisions for us. We think we have a lot of conscious choices, but the emphasis that points us towards one decision or another comes from all sorts of wiring inside the brain. The knowledge we have, the experiences we've had in the past. The amygdala is going to have those stored connections between experiences and emotions and feelings and so on. And when we're making decisions, our brain is actually pushing us very strongly in a certain direction. So the brain actually makes decisions for us. And of course, if we've got limitations in our skills, then it's the brain's limitations that's going to influence us. So I'm not a terribly patient driver. And when I see someone who's driving badly, whose reaction speeds are slow, they take a long time to pull out in front of me at a junction, and I start to boil up inside, I have to pull myself back and say, that's because of the limitations of their processing speed. Or if I see a teacher say to a child, concentrate, the child hasn't actually got the ability to concentrate because the wiring of listening and turning that into concepts they understand isn't complete. It's a slow, hard process. The child hasn't got a choice to concentrate. So I want us to look at all of those criticisms we have of people and think of them in a new light. Think of them in the context of the ability of them to develop the skill necessary for them to do and behave in the way that you'd like them to. Think about the decision-making process they're making and the fact it's their brain influencing their decision based upon abilities, based upon past experiences. So when you're watching football next or a sport and you call somebody an idiot, just reflect for a moment that what they did at that time was determined by the ability of their brain. The automaticity of their brain determined what those automatic actions were. So understanding the brain, understanding abilities, the abilities to learn, understanding the previous experiences, and putting all those into the context of people's current behavior will help you understand. So when you look at someone that's just lost their temper, what's happened? Did they choose to lose their temper? No, they probably didn't. But what happened was things were happening that their working memory capacity was unable to process. And when we run out of working memory processing capacity, we lose all emotional control. Likewise, if we try and tell someone, pull yourself together, we're actually telling them to do something that's almost impossible to do. You can only pull yourself together in your mind. And if you've run out of working memory capacity because your emotions are so overwhelmed, then it's not a choice you've got. So I'm hoping this quick chat about what's happening in the brain will help us understand ourselves far better, make allowances for yourself and make allowances for others, be more tolerant towards others. I'm not suggesting you're tolerant of terrible behaviour, but understand why there's that behaviour. There's actually got to be some changes in the brain before that person will naturally behave and act in a different way. I hope that's making some sense. I hope you can look at others in a different light from now on, and yourself. All the best.